So, anyway, I like to think that with any luck, I'm Matthew Lane, have a great night.
Alright, keep that applause rolling for the next comedian. I actually haven't seen this guy before, but I've heard amazing things. So keep the energy up. Round of applause for Drake. Yeah!
Finally, someone the right height as me. Good evening. I went to prison for rape recently. I wasn't convicted, I just went to get raped. I was doing a show once, and this lady got up at the back, and she was really, really abusive, and she started heckling, and it was really off-putting, and she was like, "Get off the stage, you dirty ethnic, go tell your stupid jokes in your own fucking country." And in the end I had to say, "Look, Mum, you've had too much to drink, fuck off." My mother is a saint, actually, and I know a lot of you are probably thinking, "Oh, look, another ethnic kid with an Oedipal complex," but that's not what it is at all. My mother, she's really religious. She actually wanted to become a nun when she was growing up, but then she got pregnant, so that sort of stopped that dream. Anyway, so I'm a bit of a bad son. I went away for a long time. I was away for about 5 years, and I'd go for sometimes like 6 months without calling my family. The only reason they knew I was alive was because occasionally my sister would see on my WhatsApp, last seen on this date, so they knew I was still active and alive. Anyway, so when I was back in Sydney, I made an effort to sort of come and visit my mum, and my mum picked me up from the station once because they live out in the western suburbs, which is hell. And as we were driving away, she was driving a bit weird, and she sort of hit a curve as she was driving, and there was a policeman, and policemen in Sydney do RBTs all the time, and so she got pulled over, and I'm sitting in the car with my mother, and the cop knocks on the window, and she opens the window, and he says to her, I'm really sorry, but is everything all right? And she said, yeah. And she was acting a bit strange, and so he said, I need to breathalyze you. And she goes, like, my mum's from Egypt, but before you get all worried, I'm not a terrorist. And she said, oh no, I have asthma. So he was like, oh, okay, well then I'm going to need you to come and give a urine sample. And she goes, oh no, I have cassida bag. And I'm thinking, fuck, what the fuck's going on? This is my mum's not got asthma and she's not got a catheter bag. And then he goes, well, I'm going to need you to come out of the car and I'm going to have to take you to the stage. She goes, oh no, officer, I can't, I'm drunk. Which was strange because she doesn't drink a lot. Anyway, so I don't know if any of you know this, but around Sydney, well, you probably do this because you fucking live here. I haven't lived here in a while, but I've come back and I've noticed that there are these red light speed cameras everywhere you go now. Everywhere you go, there's a fucking red light speed camera, and all they want to do is just raise money. That's all they want to do. They don't want to keep the streets safe, you know. They just want to raise money. There's a variable speed limit camera on my way to work, and it's outside the front of the school zones. And the school zones are all 40 kilometres now. And this isn't just here, this is all over the world now. They've got variable speed limits around the schools. And when you drive past this school, there's a camera there, and it knows when the speed's 40 and when it's 60. The only problem is when I'm driving through there, my eyes are not on the road. My eyes are on the speedo because I don't want to break the speed limit. Now the problem is, if you hit a kid at 60, you hit him and kill him, yeah? If you hit a kid at 40, you hit him and you fuck up the rest of his life, you know? They should make it just 60 the whole way through, and if a kid gets caught up in it, fuck him. You know? And what's worse is they have this outside the front of high schools. If you've made it all the way to year 7, fuck, we should let Darwin do some of the work and get rid of these fuckers from real. Because then you have shows like Teen Mum on television. And then, I don't know if there's a school out west called James Roos, okay? it's a selective school. You have to pass an exam to go there, okay? These are the smartest fucking kids in New South Wales. There is a 40 zone outside the front of that school because those kids still go, ooh, a ball! Take him out. I can get rid of him. Then you see these little memorials on the side of the school where a kid fell over and got hit by a car. There's no memorial at the car yard, is there? Where the big dent was put in the... No, that's really bad. So I've recently come back to Sydney, and it's a nice place, but it's fucking expensive. It's absolutely fucking... It's too expensive to live here. I was looking at a place to live because unfortunately I moved in with my parents when I came back. It was the most horrible experience of my life. When you're 29 years old and you come back to live with your parents, the next best option is suicide. Especially when they're ethnic and your friends come over to pick you up. And ethnic mothers think that your white friends have two emotions. They're hungry and they're shy. The reason they don't want to eat is because they're shy. That's not the case. They just fucking hate woke food. Every time they come over, like, we've eaten. No, thank you very much, we've eaten. It's all good, it's all good. So it's Sunday night, and I'm amazed that all of you are out here tonight because I don't know about... I've got work tomorrow. Does everyone have work tomorrow? Yeah. Does everyone have work tomorrow? And it fucking sucks balls going to work. It does. I think the only person who wakes up in the morning on a Monday and goes, fuck yes, I get to go to work, is possibly a porn star. You know? They're the only ones who don't think, oh, fuck, I gotta fuck those two blondes in the morning. I'm over. I really don't want to do this. Can I call in sick yet? I can't yet. I've got VD, yeah, we're gonna have to pull the shit off. It's fucking flaring up there. Unbelievable. But I imagine a friend of mine, she's a forensic, she just studied forensics at university, and one of the things they do there is they look at sperm samples, and just to study them. You could frown look on your face. They're not using them to make babies or anything. A lesbian couple's not going in there going, oh, I'll have one of those and I'll have one of those. No, it's purely for scientific research. You know, so they can see how it fades on a blue dress to see if Bill Clinton had his dick in her or not, you know. And people get paid to give sperm just for this experiment. And I was thinking, what an amazing job, you know? What do you do? I'm a wanker. A banker? No, I'm a wanker. What's the difference? Well, the wanker knows what he's doing, for one. You know, could you imagine, you know, being at work, you know, I need two hands for this part. You know, you're at work, and your wife calls. I'm not married, by the way, but you know, your wife calls. Yeah, hi, love. Yeah, I'm just at work. Yeah, it's been a tough day. The boss is riding my ass. Yep. Okay, so just some milk. Okay. Cream cheese. No worries. Gel, hair gel. Yep. I'm going to keep going until you realise these are all things that can be passed off as semen. Hey, love. What are you wearing? Oh. That doesn't work, by the way. Knowing what someone is wearing does nothing to increase the libido of, unless they're naked, and then they're wearing anything. Anyway, I've been given the wave, so I'm going to leave you with this little story. I was driving some of my friends home, and I pulled off in front of a police officer. It was a traffic light, and I was running low on petrol, and so I sort of snuck in front of him. It was an unmarked car. Didn't know that it was a police officer, and so I put him to the petrol station, and my mates were pissed. One of them opened the window and spewed outside the side of the because we're Australian, and that's how we do shit, you know. And a police officer came in, the lights flashed on, and I was like, oh fuck, is it illegal to have drunk friends in the car? This is what's going through my mind. Anyway, and then I get out of the car to put some petrol, and the police officer goes, oh, you know, are you having a good night? And I said, oh, officer, I'm not, but they are. And he goes, well, but I'm going to have to breathalyze you. I said, oh, officer, I'm sorry, I'm an asthmatic. Thank you very much, you guys have been great, have a good night.
Drake, everybody. Available for kids' parties. Cool. Let's keep the night rolling on. Next guy, round of applause. Keep the energy up. Yeah. Give it up. Next comedian, Tony. Yeah.